These are some of the best documented applications of biofeedback. There's chronic pain right there, but there's many other things that biofeedback therapists are not afraid to tackle. But of course, most of these are medical disorders also, so you can't just go out as a psychologist and say, okay, I'm ready to treat your hypertension, ready to treat your headaches or brain disorder. You have to have medical clearance and a little bit of contact with the person who says, yeah, I know what you're doing, it's okay, you have my blessing. Because in a way, we are practicing medicine, except there's no medicine. It's just working with bona fide medical disorders. This is showing which kinds of biofeedback go with which kinds of problem. It's a little too complicated, but I don't work with EEG. I do most other things, but no brainwaves for me. I've got enough of my own. Seizures, motion sickness, Raynaud's. So the nice thing about biofeedback is it appeals to physicians because there's a procedure, there's data, there's an instrument of some sort. They think, well, that's not psychotherapy, that's not lying on a couch, it's something I can understand. There's numbers to it, microvolts, yeah. Please, and people like it too, because it's not really like sawing your leg off, it's not anything really medical, no pills, but still you're doing something kind of medical. Activate self-care though, that's the difference. The point is to learn to do this yourself, not to come in every week and be hooked up to some wires and you feel better. Even acupuncture doesn't have a self-care component built in, except delivering yourself to the office. Here's the norms. I won't spend too much time on this unless you're in the business, so norms don't matter much. But we have averages for the population for every one of these things we measure. I like to tell people in advance what the norms are so they can compare themselves to what the average of the population is without me saying, hey, you look really bad, you need 20 sessions. They don't have a way to start knowing. This is I don't know, I hope it's true. This is what I operate with. The links between the world of emotions and the world of pain, for most people, is two separate things. You know that from the beginning. They just talk about the pain as something separate from the way they live, the way they feel and think. And this is line of awareness, and something transforms emotional upset into the experience of pain. In the case of breathing, it's often overuse of these neck muscles, the scalene muscles, the trapezius. They're overbreathing there, and so it causes neck pain. Sometimes it leads to headaches. They don't know that. They just know that they were upset about their visit to the family. The next day they had a terrible headache. Coincidence. Maybe it was the macaroni. They don't know what. But once you start to work with biofeedback, you can really elucidate that link between feelings and physiology. You start to see, oh, that's part of it. Hyperventilation also. Sometimes it makes pain worse because the CO2 goes down and the body becomes more alkaline. But here's for muscles. Trigger points is one thing. Trigger points are exquisitely sensitive to sympathetic output. Nobody quite knows why, but it may be to get the muscles braced or ready to contract. And once you see that your trigger points are made worse by upset, or talking about something that bothers you, suddenly the trigger point in your shoulder hurts more. Not a coincidence. Loss of blood flow in extremities can lead to more pain. Shorter muscles, posture. All these things are intermediary between the emotion and the real events in the body. Vasoconstriction, phantom limb pain can be made worse by stress because the blood vessels are already kind of damaged in the stump. They get really tight, sets off pain receptors. Neuropathic pain can be made worse by reduced blood flow to the nerve sheath. So the whole idea of somatization, when you look into it with biofeedback devices, is not so mysterious. There's a category called psychophysiological disorders. And I think that covers a lot of somatization. Biochemistry, stress causes increase in norepinephrine, peripheral sensitization, pain threshold go down. less endorphins to protect you, more CCK. All kinds of things lead to the inevitable pain. But they can't feel these intervening steps. Okay. Here's a bit about how the biochemistry is altered during stress versus relaxation. When the pain is high, you have a lot of adrenaline, sensitizing the nerve endings. The anticipation of trouble associated with adrenaline will make you more sensitive to pain too. CCK, cholecystokinin, is a pain amplifier. It's just the opposite of endorphins. They're reciprocal to each other. And the endorphins are low, GABA is low. Now when the pain is low, if you bring the pain low, it's partly by reducing the left side of the equation here, increasing GABA, increasing endorphins, things get better. So here's what I look for in a good referral. A person basically who's anxious, at least some of the time, their emotions are all stirred up. They're not so fond of medication as to find a solution. They accept, well, stress might be something to do with my pain. It could be. My mind is open about that. They want to learn to relax. They've heard that relaxation helps pain. They say, oh, put me in. Well, come on in. Then we have an agreement. If they like to do things themselves, maybe manufacture their own GABA, we could do that by a peaceful, calm scene. GABA goes up in your brain. And simply just express interest. I want to know more about biofeedback. That's the ticket of admission as far as I'm concerned. Because most people don't want to learn more about biofeedback. There's an example of the physical therapy realm, the consistent forward head posture, really bad with a upper back, lower neck. It puts extra strain on those muscles. Over time it kind of warps the discs and the muscles shorten. And it's harder to sit up straight, stand up straight after months and months of sitting like that. This is on the wall of my office, right over the recliner chair. They get in the chair and they see that, oh, in a few seconds they're sitting right. That's what happens from the EMG, muscle monitor. Forward head posture on the left, 5 minutes. And that goes down as they bring the head back, the sternum up a little bit. Back into that slump posture, muscle tension goes up. Multiply that by 8 or 10 hours a day, there's a lot more strain in the muscle, or stimulation of trigger points, shortening of the muscle, ischemia, just a hotbed for pain. This is kind of the same thing. On the left is bad posture, on the right is just an inch of change in head alignment. Everything goes down. That's what happens sometimes the left versus right lumbar area. There's an asymmetry that correlates with pain. Sometimes it's not that simple, but we can start with looking for something like this, an asymmetry the person can see on the screen. Oh, that's why my back hurts. Left side is twice as tight. They change how they stand. Maybe it's an old injury or something. This is poor recovery of a muscle. We want it to snap right back down as the person says, I'm relaxed now, let go. It's another way to look at it. This is from the neck, typing and then saying, stop typing. That R is when they say, relax. At the top is in the beginning, they can't relax so quickly. The muscle holds on. At the bottom, after some biofeedback practice, the relax goes right down. That's like stopping your car at a stoplight. The cars that turn off automatically, red light, you save gas. You save muscle energy this way. Well, this is the handout too. It's a 10-minute explanation. But it shows how sensitive this woman's neck muscles were to talking about an assault and a trauma. And I just kept telling her, okay, that's fine, but let go of your shoulders, because she had terrible neck pain, terrible headaches. I say relax, then she had a flashback, goes back up again. But she was totally unaware of this until I showed it to her. So it can be very useful in psychotherapy. This is heart rate variability, but I'm getting close to time to switch gears here. This is a matching of the heart rate rise and fall to the breathing. It's a very good biofeedback modality that can be introduced for under $300 in your clinic. If you do nothing else, this and a temperature device, you start off in biofeedback. I'm kind of proud of this. A person overwhelmed by chronic pain, all these things are crowding in that little self. There's nothing left of the self. they're defining themselves as, well, I'm depressed, I resent, it's not fair, I have pain. After they go through a good pain management program, if we're lucky, those things have retreated. They're still there, but the self rules. The self is mostly present instead of all the other stuff.